Yo, what is going on, everybody? This is RBT and welcome back to another Madden 18 video, and today we're doing another trading challenge. We tried to trade for every single quarterback in the NFL, didn't work out too well, it was a lot harder than I thought. But today's challenge should be easier as we are going to try to trade for every single starting running back in the NFL. The reason I say it's easier is because Madden values running backs a lot lower than quarterbacks, so I think we could actually make this happen. So what's going to happen in today's video, I thought it was a better idea than the quarterback one where we tried just doing a bunch of weird things. If we can't get every single starting running back in year one, we'll get as many as we can in year one, then jump into year number 2 in the franchise and see if we can make every trade happen then. So let's see if we can make this happen. Hope you guys do enjoy today's trading challenge, and if you do, make sure to drop a like. Let's see if we can smash 2,000 likes on today's video. And if you want to see any more videos like this, let me know what position you want to see next. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new and turn on the notification bell if you haven't. But with that said, let's jump right into the video. We're using the Browns just because they make things easier because they have a lot of draft picks. Now let's just go start with the Chicago Bears. Now that I think about it, Jordan Howard might be kind of hard to get because he's young and 89, but let's see what it's going to take. They need a wide receiver, so we're throwing a wide receiver. We have a couple. They want Kenny. They don't want either of those guys. They just want Corey, so let's not throw in Corey. They need a quarterback. Let's try Deshaun. They kind of want Deshaun, and we're going to be able to get Jordan Howard, but he's going to be probably one of the harder running backs to get. So let's see if we can find a player they are actually interested in. Let's see if they want one of our cornerbacks. They want this guy. Throw him in there. Relatively close, a little bit over halfway. So now we can probably throw in our worst quarterback, Cody Kessler. See if this will be close to accepted. It's getting there. We need one more player. Let's go. Let's try a running back of our own. About Darius Jackson. Throw this in there. It got really, really close. So now I think we could throw like maybe a fourth. Maybe a fourth. A third would definitely be enough to get him. And it was accepted. So it takes a cornerback, 82 overall, Body Calhoun, Cody Kessler, and a 4th round draft pick to bring in Jordan Howard. Now moving down to the Cincinnati Bengals, we'll just go with the highest overall running back, and we'll go with Giovanni Bernard. Now, what is it gonna take to bring him in? Now, let's try one of the quarterbacks just to test things out. And to get Giovanni, that's already extremely freaking close. So now we can do the little running back trick. And the running back trick, I'm going to save this for whenever I get around to doing my extremely in-depth how to rebuild video. For some reason, although like your running backs, they could be all the way down to like a 60 overall, they still value them like a decent amount. And I'll explain all that later. Same thing with the quarterbacks, are I think over 69 overall. So we'll submit this trade. It's going to be accepted. Just kidding, it's not. But it's pretty close for just Kevin Hogan and a freaking 64 overall running back. So now we can throw in anybody. Let's throw in our worst wide receiver, Rashard Higgins. And it's going to be accepted. Welcome Giovanni Bernard to Cleveland. Moving along, see, it's going a lot smoother. A lot smoother than the quarterback video. So now LeSean McCoy, he's super easy to get. We probably can just throw in, we'll throw in Darius Jackson just to see how close this is. Look at that. Look at that. Ridiculous. But I like it a lot. It makes things easy for me. So let's go to the center position. Throw in Austin Redder. We'll also throw in one of our middle linebackers, try Tank Carter. See if this will be accepted. And it didn't go up nearly as much as I thought it was gonna. But instead, we'll try Jabril Peppers. See how close this will go up. It gets into the green now. So now I think if we can throw in maybe a 5th round draft pick, this will be accepted, and it was. That is disgusting. Actually disgusting. I probably didn't have to throw in Jabril Peppers there, but I don't know why LeSean McCoy is so easy to get, but he's extremely easy to get. Now to the Denver Broncos, CJ Anderson. He might be actually one of the harder ones as well. Some of them, there's a lot of players I don't trade for in rebuilds because it's pointless too. Not pointless, but it's counterproductive. Like, why would you trade for a guy like CJ Anderson when you can get Ezekiel Elliott, or who's the other one? I can't think off the top of my head. David Johnson for like probably less than CJ Anderson. It's just the reason you see the same players over and over again is because you're trying to make the best team possible, and even if it does mean bringing the same players over and over again, it just means like it helps the team more. So that's why players like this you don't see a lot in rebuilds, although I'm not really sure what it takes to bring them in. Number one need though is quarterback. We have one left, DeShone Kizer. And it's about halfway to going through. So there's really no running backs left that we can trade away. So let's try trading. Let's go with a draft pick. They have a lot of draft picks we can use. Let's try DeShone Kizer and a 4th round draft pick. And it got into the yellows. So I think we can try a 3rd round draft pick from next year and make this deal happen. And it was accepted. CJ Anderson is also a Cleveland Brown. Now going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. No idea how hard Doug Martin is to get. I think it's probably not that difficult to bring him in. let's see. Let's just go straight draft pick here, 5th rounder, see what it's going to take. It's 4-star, so they probably need one player they're kind of interested in. And now that we don't have any quarterbacks left or running backs that we can trade away, it might get a little difficult, but we're going to persevere. Let's go with a 2nd round draft pick from next year. This might be accepted straight up, or at least be close. It's pretty close. So now we can throw in 2 players that they don't really want, but at positions of need, and we'll be able to definitely get them. So let's try a left outside linebacker, 68 overall, and a left end. We'll try Carl and Nassib. See if this will be accepted, and it was. Doug Martin is now a Cleveland Brown. Now, don't take this video wrong. Like, running backs are pretty easy to get, but don't think it's just this easy to get any player. Running backs are probably the easiest position to trade for. Running backs and probably defense or offensive linemen that are older are the easiest players to trade for in rebuilds. Now, David Johnson, 96 overall, but we're still going to get him. There's only one player I'm worried about that we can't get in year number 1. You'll see when we get to that point. Now, David Johnson is going to take quite a bit. We'll try Jason McCourty straight up. This might go through straight up. It might be maybe half, a little bit more. Well, that was not as much as I thought, but I'll take it. So now, what we're going to do is throw in a 3rd round draft pick, and this might do it. 3rd rounder and Jason McCourty, and it's really close. So let's try. They need a cornerback, but I don't think, unless we can get Deron Smith, because for some reason this game values free safeties pretty highly as well, although it doesn't say it does. So they don't want him. But since I do want a cornerback, let's try to throw in one of our worst ones, Howard Wilson. It's their number 1 need, and it doesn't get accepted. So I think we can try a really, really crappy draft pick, like maybe a 6, and if this doesn't go through, I think a 5th definitely will. It doesn't get accepted, so I don't even know now if a 5th will. But if it doesn't, we can try something else. A 5th round draft pick, and it wasn't accepted. So instead of doing that, what I'm going to do here is trade our 2nd and also get probably a 6th out of the deal. We'll try 6. So a Jason McCourty, 2nd round draft pick for David Johnson, and a 6th round draft pick, and it wasn't accepted. So maybe this won't be accepted. And it wasn't. Wow, that's kind of shocking. So now what we do, I think, is we can throw in that cornerback, and now it should be accepted. And it wasn't. This trade will go through 100%. I didn't think they were going to be interested in Sean Coleman, but they are. Now, David Johnson is now going to be a Cleveland Brown. Now, moving along to the San Diego Chargers, and now Melvin Gordon, I think, might be the 2nd hardest running back to get in today's video. So with that said, let's go straight up with the position they do need, that being left outside linebacker, and they are interested in Jamie Collins, and that's about a little bit over halfway to going through. So now, what is it going to take? Maybe they do need a fullback, so I just don't, even though he's at 55, maybe it goes up a little bit, and it went up a little bit, even though it's really not like a 55 overall fullback. I don't know why it went up that much. So now, I think a 3rd might be a little bit too much to get him, but we'll throw it in there anyway, and it was accepted. So it takes Jamie Collins, a 3rd round draft pick, and a 55 overall fullback to bring in Melvin Gordon. Moving along to the Kansas City Chiefs, and now that I think about it, Kareem Hunt, he's going to be hard to get. There's just all these running backs come into my head because I don't trade for them in videos because they're hard to get. Now, what is it going to take to bring in Kareem? Maybe he is going to be a running back or a cornerback that we have to get in year number 2. So I can probably tell right off the bat if it's going to be possible. I don't know. It might not be possible to get Kareem Hunt in year number 1. So let's try a 1st round draft pick, the number 1 overall draft pick, to bring in Kareem Hunt. Yep, I really highly doubt this is going to be a thing. We'll try Corey Coleman, but if not, we'll just skip over Kareem Hunt and maybe get him at the end, or try to. Yeah, so it's not going to happen. They value Corey Coleman at 5 stars and Jamar Taylor at 4 stars and a number 1 overall draft pick at 5 stars. And it's just, no matter who you throw in this deal, it's not going to happen. So we'll try to get him in year number 2. Now, moving along to the Indianapolis Colts, this one should be easy because their starting running back is Frank Gore, who is old and he's a low overall. So we probably can get him for pretty much nothing. So we'll throw in a 5th round draft pick and see if this will be accepted. And actually, they value him a lot higher than I thought they were going to. So instead, we'll try a 4th and a 5th for Frank Gore and see how high this will go up. About not really halfway, so it might actually take maybe a 2nd. Or do we have a 1st from next year? Let's just try a 2nd. We have 2 of them. Why not throw it in there? This will probably be easily accepted straight up, and it was, man. Well, we're just trying to make the video go a little bit smoother, a little bit faster. So we got him. Now, Ezekiel Elliott. And you would think a 95 overall running back that's a 22-year-old should be pretty hard to get. but he's not. We probably can find one position they do want, and it might be accepted straight up. We might have to add in some type of crappy draft pick. How about Kindred? They are interested in Kindred. This might go through straight up. And Joe, just kidding. Just kidding. It's not as easy as I thought. So let's go with the second round draft pick. This might be accepted. Yep, it was. So it takes Kindred and a second round draft pick to bring in one of the best overall running backs in the game. And he's like the youngest too. So that's crazy. So moving along to the next team, the Miami Dolphins. And they no longer have Jay Ajayi. They have Damian Williams as their highest overall running back. So this should be super easy to get. So keep on trying the draft pick things. I'm trying to milk my draft picks as much as possible. And okay, they value him at 4 stars too. So it might be a little bit harder than I thought. I don't want to obviously trade away a first round draft pick. So what we're going to do is trade away. They want a cornerback. We do have Jamar Taylor. And I guess we should just send this through and probably be accepted straight up. No, it wasn't, but it's going to be close. So now what we're going to do is let's try to save the draft picks and see if we can try finessing a little bit. Try a free safety because they, for some reason, value free safeties pretty highly. In Kai Nakuaya. And it went into the green, so instead of that, we'll just try to make things go easier. Don't want a draft pick, try 5th. See if this will be accepted, and it wasn't. But let's see if the 6th might not be enough either. So 5th and a 6th, and that wasn't accepted. But I think the 4th from next year should definitely be accepted. So we'll try a 4th from next year as well, and it was accepted. Damian Williams is now a Cleveland Brown. Move along to the Philadelphia Eagles, and now LeGarrette Blount is the highest overall, and now he's a 90 overall, but he is 30, so I'm not sure if it's going to be hard or not. So let's see what wide receivers they are interested in. They're kind of interested in Josh Gordon. We can gauge their interest from this, and that's like that was weird. Anyways, we'll send this through. It's about almost 3/4 of the way to going through, which is, I don't understand why this is the case, because LeGarrette Blount is only valued at 3 stars, but this game is just weird sometimes. So we'll try Josh Gordon instead. We'll find another player they do want. Well, I don't know, because we don't really have anybody at these positions of need unless they want Joe. They do want Joe. This is weird. So they want Joe. We can also throw in Josh Gordon as well, and this might be accepted straight up. And if it's not, we'll throw in Corey Coleman instead. That's pretty close. So we'll try Corey Coleman instead, and this might go through. Pretty close. So now I think if we can throw in a cornerback that is kind of crappy, highest overall one, Howard Wilson, 69 overall, and it was accepted. Jay Ajayi is now a Cleveland Brown. Moving along to Devonta. Okay, now this is one that might. Okay, I'm sorry that I said there might only be one, because now that I'm thinking about it, and that we're getting longer on in the video, there might be 3 or 4 we have to get in year number 2. So now moving along. I think it might take, we'll try a first round draft pick, but I don't, like, if this is still in the red, you can't get them in year number 1. It's impossible. And yep, it's still in the red. So there's no point. There's genuinely no point in wasting our time. We'll just move right along to the San Francisco 49ers. We're going to try to get Carlos Hyde. I think he's also relatively easy to get. Let's see if they want either Kenny Britt or any of these guys. They want Josh Gordon, so this might go through straight up, and it's about halfway. So now let's try well, we really don't have anybody else they want, which is kind of unfortunate. So at this point, we might just throw in our second round or a first round draft pick from next year, and it's really, really close to going through. So now if we do somebody extremely crappy, like throw in freaking Bryce Treggs, this will be accepted. Now moving along to the next team, the New York Giants, and they have nobody really. They have Orange Darkwa, 83 overall, which shouldn't be that hard to get, but you never know. We'll try one of these middle linebackers. They don't want either of them. For some reason, some teams do want low overall middle linebackers, which is weird, but you just got to go with it. So we're at the point where we have to throw in whoever we have at positions. Like, we don't have that much we can kind of finesse with. At this point, we're just trying to get the players for whatever we can. So I don't want to trade away Christian Kirksey for him, but we might just have to. It will be accepted straight up. We'll see. And it's in the yellow. So we end up having to trade a 4th round draft pick, Christian Kirksey, and a 67 overall tight end for Orleans Darkwa. Now, like I said, there's so many running backs that I didn't think were impossible to get, that are impossible to get in year number 1. And now that I come to the team, yeah, I don't think Leonard Fournette is going to be, you can't get him. You're not going to be able to get him in this first season, but we'll try. I'm going to show you guys, like, if you have the number 1 overall draft pick, you offer him for a player, and it's not out of the red, it's genuinely impossible. Now this might be something that, I don't know why Leonard Fournette is not in the red, and like guys like Devonta Freeman are, but anyways, we'll move it along. This might happen, it might not. So we don't have a right tackle. We have Joe Thomas, who they're going to be interested in. It's in the yellow now. We need one more player that they do want. Who's our next highest overall player on the team? And it is going to be David Johnson, Ezekiel Elliott. All these running backs have nobody. How about Joel Bitonio? They do want him. And, yep, see, man, this isn't going to go through. Like, no matter what, like, as close as we possibly can get it, we could probably get another 9 overall player. It's not going to happen. Just to make things easier, like I said, we'll wait for year number 2. So going to the Jets, this should be easy. Their starting running back is Bilal Powell. And it just all depends on what we have to trade away. Center, do we have a center they want? They want JC? They do want JC. Can this go through straight up? It's really close. So that's going to make things really simple. So how about just make it both centers? Will that be enough to get accepted? And sometimes, like if you throw in 2 players at the same position, the like interest doesn't go up at all. But this time, luckily for us, it did. Now moving on to the Detroit Lions, and their starting running back is going to be Amir Abdullah, 85 overall. Not really sure how hard he is to get. So let's see. Strong safety. Didn't we already trade away our strong safety? Unfortunately, we did. So just for the heck of it, we're throwing, just to gauge their interest, we'll throw in Damian Williams because they're going to be kind of interested in him. I'm not going to trade him away. I'm going to try not to. Okay, so that is not that hard to get him. So we need one player. I think if we throw in, we already traded away Jamie Collins. So if we trade, we're just kind of at the point where we don't have much to trade away. And with that being the case, I think if we throw in a 3rd round draft pick, why do they not? Normally teams are interested in the 3rd round draft pick. What the heck? What? That's really weird. I think if I back out, they will be. Normally when you throw in a 3rd round draft pick, every single time it's like in the yellow. I don't know why that's the case. Maybe I had to back out because sometimes backing out fixes random glitches. Nope. Wow, that's never happened before, but I guess we're gonna roll with it. So they don't really want the 3rd round draft pick, which is the first time I've ever seen that. So if we throw in, we really won't have much else to trade away at this point. So if we go with we'll just throw 2 players at positions of needs. We'll try James. We'll try a cornerback. Oh, that's not a cornerback, but we'll roll with it. Duran. Well, there we go. That was a lot easier than I thought. So we get Amir Abdullah. Now moving along to the next team, that's the Green Bay Packers, and they have Ty Montgomery as their starting running back, 82 overall. Not really sure what it's going to take, but we're going to try. Now let's go with Joel Bitonio. They are interested in him. Well, let's go through straight up. I don't know about Ty Montgomery. That's really close to going through. So now we'll throw in like our lowest overall player, like Sammy Coates, not the lowest overall, but he's a pretty low overall, and that brings in Ty Montgomery. Now moving on to the Panthers, Christian McCaffrey is their highest rated running back. No, it's Jonathan Stewart. With him being old, it might be kind of easy. Who do we please be interested in Kenny Britt just a little bit? They are. Please go through straight up. No, it doesn't. Kind of shocked. So what else? They'll probably want Joe. They definitely want Joe. Or maybe one of this guy. Please take Rod. Okay, that makes things so much easier. They want Rod and Kenny. Now we're gonna throw in another wide receiver. Who's the other one we have? We have Ricardo. Y'all want Ricardo, and it wasn't accepted. They do want a free safety, and I have a strong feeling that this is not going to go through because we don't have a strong safety or a free safety. We have Nakua, and wasn't accepted again. So we'll just try, at this point, I don't know what draft picks we have left. We have a 7th from next year. So, okay, I understand now. I was wrong. So that was a 3rd round draft pick from next year, not from this year. That's my bad. That is my bad. I just now realized that because we had to trade away a lot of stuff. So you guys will see what I did to make things easier on me and you. So I went and just signed some free agents just to get trade value so we can try to get as many running backs in this first season that are possible to get. So Rod Johnson, Kenny Britt, and also we got a lot of running backs without having to do that. We just signed a bunch of quarterbacks. We'll try the lowest overall one, or just for the meme, we'll throw in Mark Sanchez, and this should be accepted because they value, even the ones they say they're not interested in, the quarterbacks they do value at 2 stars, which do bring in some trade value. I think if you traded that away, you probably could get like a 4th or 5th round draft pick for every quarterback that you sign out of free agency. So if you want to cheat that way, there's a tip for you. Now, the New England Patriots running back is going to be Dion Lewis. Not really sure about him, but with us having all these just random quarterbacks and running backs, what we can do, and also another tip, if you want to go through things like the menu faster, if you hold down the analog stick in the D-pad in the direction you're trying to move at the same time, like it goes, instead of just going like really slow, you can just go up like that, or if you're scrolling through teams, that's another little tip for you guys. Trying to bring some tips to the channel. I might not be good at a lot of things, but I am, like, I don't know if that's actually a skill, trading for players in connected franchise and Madden 18. That's not really a skill that I'm going to write on a job resume, but, I mean, it's something that takes a little bit of knowledge and experience to be able to be good at it. So, anyways, with that little tangent, a good way to, like, gauge trade value from a team is to throw in a running back that's overall they do have somewhat interested in that little yellow marker, because even the low like 70 overall running backs that you can sign on free agency, every team does want. And that's not been the case in years past, but it is this year for some reason. So we'll be able to gauge off of this what they want for Dion Lewis, and they're probably going to want, I would say it'd probably take also a 3rd round draft pick out of this deal. So let's see, we do have positions that they do need. Myles Garrett, who I guess I can trade away for the video's sake, or left in Emmanuel Ogbah. They are interested in him. This is probably, I'm going to guess, it's going to be 3/4 of the way going through, and a little bit less than 3/4. So now what we can do the little trick. We can do a running back who is going to be just the lowest overall one that we sign out of free agency, which is going to be a 75, Trey Mason, and Zach Mettenberger, and this should be accepted. And it wasn't, so we go with the high overall quarterback in this situation, Tavares Jackson, and it wasn't accepted as well. So now we're in quite a predicament, but don't fret. We'll just go with another running back, Jeremy Langford. Even though, like I said, sometimes they don't have interest levels go up if we offer 2 of the same position, but maybe in this case it'll go up just enough. Well, that was the perfect example for you guys to see what I was talking about. So we'll go with the highest overall running back that we did sign on a free agent. Now the quarterback that's the highest overall. Maybe this will be enough to be accepted, and it wasn't. Maybe they weren't interested in Tavares Jackson, maybe because he's too old, but they might be interested in Zach because he is younger. And this, there we go. Like I said, it only took a 3 overall difference in Alex Collins and that Trey Mason that we signed to bring in Dion Lewis. Now moving along to the next running back, that is Marshawn Lynch, and this should be pretty easy because he is 30 years old. The reason I like changing teams in these videos is because at this point, like, I only have players that like are really good to trade away. So obviously I could probably trade a Joe Thomas for Marshawn Lynch straight up, but I like showing you the least amount it takes to get players. But with the same team, it's really hard to do that. So if I change teams, I'll be able to probably trade a 4th and maybe like a backup running back for Marshawn Lynch. But in this case, I'm probably gonna have to trade away a really good player, and that is probably gonna be, unless they want Zach Banner, or unless they want a right tackle, or maybe we can do the quarterback thing here. Maybe we can trade away one of our lowest overall running backs, Kareem Carey, and maybe Bruce for Marshawn Lynch. And just kidding, so maybe it will take somebody good. So in this case, we do have some good defensive tackles though. We have, I don't know why I haven't tried trading away any defensive tackles, because we have a lot of decent ones that teams are going to want. Ty McGill, they do want, try this straight up, and it's about halfway. So now if we do the running back thing, we're going to try the lowest overall running back, Trey Mason, and then once again, Bruce in the deal. This might be accepted, pretty close. Maybe this will be accepted, and it was. We do bring in Marshawn Lynch. Moving along to the Rams and Todd Gurley. He is a player that is hard to get in your number 1, but he's not impossible. And the way to check that out is by using the number 1 overall draft pick. If this is in the red, he's impossible to get. But if it's in like the orangish yellow, he is possible to get. And there you go. Wow, I thought he was hard to get, harder than that. So a 1st round draft pick, we might be able to get Todd Gurley for a lot easier than I thought. So they do want a defensive tackle. We're still on our best one, Danny Shelton, and see how close this is to going through. And that's a little bit less than the 1st round draft pick. So now if we do the running back thing, we'll try only 1 running back. We'll try Kareem Carey, see how much this bumps it up. It's in the yellow now, but I don't want to trade away one of my 1st round draft picks. So what we're going to do now is we'll try the not number 1 overall draft pick. They value the only draft pick they value at 5 stars is the number 1 overall draft pick. The 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and so on, they value at 4 stars, which is not that much of a difference in terms of trade value. As you'll see, it's about just a little bit less than the 1st overall draft pick. So now we'll throw in our lowest overall defensive tackle, Trevon Coley, and this will easily be accepted for Todd Gurley. It probably would have taken, like, I might have been able to throw in, honestly, that running back as well. But anyways, we already did it. So now moving on to the Baltimore Ravens, the running back Terrence West. He shouldn't be that hard to get. They need a quarterback. We'll throw in Tavares, although I guess they don't want Tavares since he's old. And Jeremy. See how close this is to going through. And that is going to be kind of hard to get Terrence. A lot harder than I thought. You know what? We have some guards they might want. They want Kevin. They don't want Kevin. So unfortunately, I'm going to do this. And you might think I'm stupid, but like I said, we're at the point where we really can't trade away not good players because we don't have many left that teams kind of want, but you know what I'm saying. We'll throw in Miles, and it's going to not be accepted straight up, which is kind of surprising, but now we do the running back trick. and we'll probably not have it accepted. We'll go with the highest overall one we have, and that's Antonio Andrews, and see if this will be accepted. And wow, it was accepted, so there you go. We get Terrence West. Moving on to the Redskins, their starting running back is Chris Thompson, who unfortunately just suffered a season-ending injury. But anyways, we'll try to get him in today's video since he is the highest overall running back. And as always, to gauge the interest, Jeremy Langford going to send that through. So this will probably take a second-round draft pick to get him, but we will persevere. So let's see if they want our right guard by chance, Kevin Zeitler, and they don't. Maybe it's like even the players that they don't have at positions of need, if they meet a certain threshold in terms of overall, some teams do want them, but I guess 84 isn't high enough. Now, with that said, we might have to trade away Joe, or maybe David, or David or Seth. They don't want either of them, unfortunately. I'm just trying to think of the players that we have that are kind of good that players might want, or teams might want. They want both of these guys. So how about Larry? Isn't his name Larry? I think it's Larry. So it's kind of close to going through. So now the running back thing should be enough to bring in Chris Thompson, and it is not. Wow, that was a cunt to going through. So let's go with the lowest overall player we have. Let's go ahead and throw away or trade away Tavares since nobody wants. No, we'll go with the worst player than Tavares. What's the worst player that we have on the team? A 63 overall? Nah, he's too good. 62 overall, Darius Hillary, easily gonna be accepted. Now just a couple teams left. I don't know which. There's like one that I was thinking of before the video that I thought was impossible to get. That we'll have to wait till season number 2. But we'll see if we can get them. I doubt it's going to happen unless they change things. Mark Ingram. Who do we have that they might want? You know what? Let's just try trading away Joe. Everybody wants Joe, even though it's not their team need because he does meet the threshold. I'm not sure which overall is the threshold, but we'll try it regardless. Joe Thomas for Mark, and that's actually really, really close to going through. So once again, it's going to take a crappy player, a crappy cornerback to make the deal go through. We'll go with our lowest overall, 64 overall, freaking Reggie, and it was accepted. Moving along, next team, Seattle Seahawks. Our highest overall running back is going to be Thomas Rawls, and I don't think he's that hard to get. But let's see. They do need a right guard. Now that's good because we have Spencer and Kevin. They want Kevin, and it's in the yellow. But we have to find another player they want, unfortunately. And at this point, I really don't think we have much unless we do the running back thing. Try the running back thing, Kareem, Carey, Kevin, and it's really close to going through. So I think the strong safety, because they like strong safeties, although they suck. Just kidding. They don't like Nakuka, whatever his name is. So go to right tackle. Or no, we don't have a right tackle, I don't think. How about Nate? You want Nate by chance? Please want Nate. Please? They wanted Nate. Thank God. So we get Thomas. Now moving along. Now this is the running back that we're not going to be able to get. We can get him, I think, in year 2, but definitely not in year 1. Like, watch here. I'm like 95% sure it doesn't come out of the red when you do this. Yep. That means right there, can't get him no matter what. You could create a player that is a 99 overall. This is the definition of an impossible player. So the top 3 team needs are left outside linebacker, free safety, strong safety. Now what you could do is create a 99 overall player at all 3 of those positions with like a minimal amount of cap hit, with them in year 1 of their contract out of a 7-year contract, which makes the player have the most value possible. Make them as a rookie too, the youngest player possible, give him even more value, and the player still won't be accepted. So that's what I mean by impossible player. No matter what you do, no matter what the scenario is, you can't get them. So we're not going to be able to get Le'Veon Bell until year number 2. Now the Texans, they have Lamar Miller, 91 overall. And we still have, we did already trade away Joe, which kind of sucks. I really don't know what else we have left we could trade away in situations like this. Unless they don't want either of those guys either. Like, who do we have at this point that we can trade away in this video? Like, who's our highest overall player? We might have to trade away a draft pick here. Our highest overall player, Danny Shelton. They want him? They do. So try this. It's about 3/4 to going through. That's what it took to bring in Lamar Miller. It took me a minute. Took me a bit of thinking. I keep forgetting we have those running backs that we can trade away. Denard Robinson, Danny Shelton, and our last cornerback available on the team for Lamar Miller. Now, only a couple teams left, 2 teams left, and I'm pretty sure we're not going to be able to get Dalvin Cook. Is he still the highest overall running back in the Vikings? We'll have to check. But Derrick Henry, okay, now this is different. I was thinking we're going to have to go after DeMarco Murray, which doesn't take much at all. But since they're like co-overalls now, I'll go for Derrick Henry since he is going to be harder to get since he is a lot younger. Now, I'm not sure what it is going to take, though, to bring him in. But who do we have left? By chance they want either of these guys? Nope, of course not. So what I did was go and trade away for some first round draft picks. I had to trade away Seth the Valve, and I had to trade away one of our guards that's like a 71 overall for first round draft picks. I also had to add in like one of the backup quarterbacks that we had. But anyways, I got some first round draft picks to try to see what we can do to get in Derrick Henry. I'm really not sure. And just to test things out, I'm going to throw in Damian Williams, although I know this trade's not going to go through, just to value the trade, or see the value. So I think that, yeah, we're definitely going to get a first-round draft pick, or get Derrick Henry for a first-round draft pick, which is weird. I thought he'd be more than that. But anyways, throw a first-round draft pick, and let's see what else we can get for Derrick Henry. We probably can get a 4th and a 5th. This probably will be accepted, and it wasn't. Maybe just the 4th, though, and it was accepted. So we do get Derrick Henry and a 4th-round draft pick for a first-round draft pick. Now, Dalvin Cook. This is the last one that I'm not sure about. With him being an 87 and a rookie, I doubt it. But we can check, as I said, by the #1 overall draft pick to see if he is impossible. And yep, he is impossible. So yes, I am reading off the card. The 5 running backs that we did not get in this first season was Dalvin Cook, Leonard Fournette, Le'Veon Bell, Kareem Hunt, and Devonta Freeman. So we're going to jump into season number 2 and get these 5 final players to end off today's video. But looking at this, it's pretty freaking awesome that we can get all these running backs, and all we had to do was sign a couple crappy running backs out of free agent for the most part, and really only one quarterback ended up helping us out with Zach Mettenberger. And if I would have spent the more time to trade away some of our lower overall players for draft picks and trade up, but you guys, I mean, I don't think it really affects you guys that much. We would have been able to do it without having to sign those guys, but I think it's still pretty impressive that we got all these guys in season number 1. But now, enough talking. I'm not sure what the CPU is going to do in terms of like cutting these players, since we have like 20, 30 running backs on the team. But anyways, we'll go ahead and sim to season number 2, see what happens. So we are into year number 2, and what I had to do to make this kind of possible is I had to go sign some free agents, because we actually kept all the running backs on our roster. I thought they were going to cut them or something, because we don't have players at specific positions. I don't know how we ended up doing in sims, because we had no defensive linemen, no offensive linemen, or no linebacker, so I don't know what happened or who we put there in simulations, but we kept all our running backs, I guess. But I did have to sign some current free agents to make the trading possible, because we didn't have anything else to trade away. So now we're going to start from the back and try to get Dalvin Cook. So in year number 2, let's see what it's going to take. We did draft a good cornerback, and they're probably going to be interested in him. They definitely are. So how about this straight up? Look how close that is. It would have been in the red last year. So now let's try a 3rd round draft pick from next year. And then one of the crappy running backs I just signed, Rex Burkhead. Not crappy, but you know what I mean. We'll throw him in there, and it was accepted. Just like that, Dalvin Cook is so much easier to get. So next, we're going to try to get Leonard Fournette from the Jacksonville Jaguars, because I do want David Njoku. He's one of the few things I have left to help get these players and make it easier on myself and for you. He's a 95 now, so let's see how close this is to going through. And that's a little bit less than halfway, so that's kind of discouraging, but we're gonna keep on going. We'll try to get a 1st round draft pick. We're throwing a 1st round draft pick from next year, see how close this is to going through. That's about 3/4. Now try a 2nd round draft pick from next year as well. Probably have to go and trade for some 1st round draft picks to make this happen. So now to try to get Leonard Fournette, we traded for some 1st round draft picks. We'll try just their 1st round draft pick. This should be a little bit less than halfway is what I expected. Now if we go with the tight end that they were interested in, David Njoku, I guess I passed it up. David Njoku, the 1st round draft pick for Leonard Fournette, and it's pretty close. So now I think maybe the 4th round draft pick from next year will be enough to make the deal go through, and it wasn't. So now I don't know what to do. Maybe, oh, now the running back thing. Blau Powell, easy. 1st round draft pick, David Njoku, and a running back. Leonard Fournette is now Cleveland Brown. Now we have 3 left to go. Le'Veon Bell, Kareem Hunt, and Devonta Freeman. Let's go to the Falcons first. Not sure what the value is wise for Devonta Freeman in year number 2, but we're going to try. He actually went up and overall to a 95, so let's see what it's going to take. We'll try a 1st round draft pick from this year. That's all we really have to trade away, and that's about exactly halfway to going through. So we'll try the running back, Chris Ivory, see if this will be accepted. It's in the green, but now I don't know, man. Hey, that was accepted, and I didn't think it was gonna, so it took trading up some more. But a 1st round draft pick from this year, a 3rd round draft pick from next year, and Chris Ivory to bring in Devonta Freeman. Now, we have 2 more trades to go, Kareem Hunt and Le'Veon Bell. And that means we'll trade for every single starting running back in Madden 18. Let's try the Chiefs first. Let's see, Kareem Hunt probably progressed all the way up to a 90 overall, so he might be harder than Le'Veon Bell, I'm not sure. So all we have left is I thought I traded for something else. But anyways, a 1st round draft pick and that's about halfway to going through. So finally we get Kareem Hunt. A little bit harder than I thought, but it takes a first-round draft pick, Alfred Morris, and a third-round draft pick to bring in the 90 overall young stud running back, and that leaves us with one, and the only 99 overall running back in Madden 18, and that is none other than Le'Veon Bell, and he's going to be kind of hard to get. I'm going to have to probably do a lot of finessing. So, first round draft pick. I don't even know if I don't have anything left. So I think I have enough now. First and a third round draft pick. And last but not least, Shane Vereen. Would this be enough to bring in Le'Veon Bell? I really, really hope so. Is this going to be enough to end off today's video? And it is. So finally, boys, as you see, we get every single starting running back in the NFL in today's video. It took a little bit of finesse and a little bit of free agent signing, but eventually, in number 2, we do get it done. Now, just out of pure curiosity, I want to see what the heck happens here if we sim the whole entire season just with this team, because for some reason somebody said to do that in the last comment section of the quarterback challenge video. But I wouldn't have probably done it if it wasn't for my own curiosity, because I want to know what the heck happens if we don't have players at the actual positions and if we have like 1,000 running backs on the team. And what do you know? We went 0-16, and our team looks pretty crappy. So I guess they did sign somebody, so that was a fail. Just curious why I sent them all the way to week number 1. We still don't have players in certain positions. But anyways, boys, that's the drop of the controller, and that's the batteries falling out. Hopefully, guys did enjoy today's challenge video. If you did, make sure to drop a like. If you want to see me do this with any other position, let me know in the comment section below. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new and turn on the notification bell if you haven't. And if you're interested, this took an hour and 2 minutes. The quarterback video took like 2 hours and 40 minutes. This one not nearly as long because running backs are not very highly valued in Madden 18. But that said, that's going to do it. I'll catch you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.